So there's a very good chance that the Nazis were the people to invent the very first operational cruise missile, and possibly one-way UAV. I'm talking about the V-1 flying bomb, also known as the Buzz Bomb or the Doodle Bug or the FI-103. Apparently this thing was designed to terrorize civilian populations and to retaliate against Allied bombing campaigns. It was an unguided, jet-propelled weapon that carried high explosive warheads over long distances. Now, despite the fact that this thing has a terrifying psychological impact, especially back then, the V-1 had limited strategic success due to the fact that it was very inaccurate and it wasn't very effective against the Allied countermeasures. The first unpowered glide test occurred in early December of 1942, followed by the maiden-powered flight on Christmas Eve of 1942. By May 26, 1943, the Nazi officials, including Albert Speer, authorized the mass production under the designation V-1, or Vengeance Weapon 1. Launch sites were built in northern France, particularly in the Pas-de-Calais region, but Allied intelligence, gleaned from resistance networks and aerial reconnaissance, identified the program early. This led to Operation Crossbow, which is a series of Royal Air Force and U.S. Air Force raids starting in August of 1943 that targeted these sites, destroying facilities and delaying deployment by months. Over 30,000 V-1s were ultimately produced, though many were lost to Allied bombing. The first time one was used in combat happened on June 13th of 1944, just a week after D-Day, when 10 V-1s were launched at London, with the initial strike hitting Grove Road and Bow, killing 6 and injuring 30. Launches peaked at over 200 per day by late June, with nearly 10,000 targeted at Britain and another 9,000 at continental targets like Antwerp. Eventually, the campaign ended in March of 1945 as Allied ground forces overran the last launch sites in the Low Countries.